Running with Maverick and Wolfman. Hey guys, welcome back to another great episode. We've got Maverick and Wolfman, your co-host. If you're enjoying Running with Maverick and Wolfman, remember to like and share on Facebook, follow on Instagram, tell someone else about the show so they can enjoy. Thanks so much for your support. Maverick here.
Wolfman here.
And we are 6 months into this thing.
Yeah, that's wild to think about.
Happy anniversary.
Like high school, we just celebrate every month.
Listen, here's the deal. Since we're 6 months into this thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, what race are you doing?
Been training for the Dopey event. So it's not one race, it's 4.
4 races in one, Disney World.
Yep.
When is it?
Less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2
4
weeks.
days, 4 races.
5K, 10K.
Half and full.
How many total miles is that?
I believe it's 48 and change. Yeah, it's getting close. They finally released the course. They said they released it like 2 weeks out, and boy, they weren't kidding. It was like 14 days and hours. Yeah, it's 12 days away, and it will be a total of 48.6 miles.
So is this going to be the most miles you've ever run in this amount of time?
I would say it'd be close. There's definitely been weeks I've done more mileage, but I don't know about in such a short time frame. I did one other event like this one time. It was in Bethlehem. Runner's World put on a event that had a 5, a 10, and a half, and they called it the hat trick. And it was a 5 and 10 on Saturday, and then the half on Sunday. And I did that, and you got a really cool hat.
Do you feel prepared for this?
Yeah, I feel prepared. We'll see if I'm prepared enough to meet some of the goals I've set forth for myself. But yeah, I feel prepared. I was sick a little earlier in the week, so I had a run streak going, and that ended at, I think it was 306 days. So we're on day number 2 again. But yeah, I feel prepared. I felt good last night getting back out there and running. I was going to run 3. I ended up doing 7. Tonight I was going to run 1. I ended up doing a tempo, and I did 5 miles. So I think I'm prepared.
Very good.
Yeah. It's been interesting. This is the first time.
What is your strategy?
So my plan is to run the 5, the 10, and the half just as runs. And then I want to push the full. The full has been my focus the whole time. The reason I signed up for the whole event is just at some point when I was, developing a plan for marathons I wanted to do, it kind of sparked my interest. So then when I finally decided that it's now or never, and we want to take the younger 2 kids to Disney, it just seemed like a good opportunity. It was motivation to get back into it.
So you're going to leave the other 2 kids at home, huh?
Oh yeah, leave them at home. I mean, somebody's got to take care of the house and the animals, but they don't know that yet, but they'll find out. But no, I mean, it's a joke. We're taking off 4. So, but the younger 2
How could you do that?
I know. The younger 2 are about the age we took the older 2 the first time. So it was good timing and a good opportunity. And we tried to do it last year, but registration closed quick. I mean, this year I took the day off. I had myself in a virtual queue on my phone and on my computer, and I was refreshing them both constantly until I got in line. And even once I was in line, like guaranteed to register, it was still almost 2 hours. And I got there as soon as the link opened.
And then you found out that you actually just registered for Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, and a lot of people were really mad at Ticketmaster, but I'm the culprit.
This guy thought he was signing up for a marathon, and he got Taylor Swift tickets.
Yeah, I mean, I met Kelsey out of it, so that's kind of cool. Some of this might be made up, but That's for you to decide.
So you got your place, right? You
Yeah.
started doing your preparation about what? It
Yep.
was a year ago. When did you start preparing for this?
Well, I started preparing, I would say in February, because that's just when I kind of had enough of making excuses and watching myself gain weight and get more out of shape and having stuff not fit and then buying things and then eventually they wouldn't fit and I just got tired of all of it and I wasn't happy with the last marathon I did being the last marathon I might do and so February I just decided we're getting back into this. I'm going to try to sign up for that race. And then I got into it and I've been using that to kind of carry me forward since. So yeah, it's been
So
good. I had what's that?
nearly a year.
Nearly a year. Ironically, I had my yearly checkup with my physician today, and she was very impressed with my weight loss and that I'm no longer taking blood pressure medication. And my heart rate is so low, she's making me see cardiology. Which I think is a joke. And I did talk her off the ledge of sending me right over to the emergency room. So I call that a win. But I've been
What did you
competing
get? What was your reading?
39, but I'm not symptomatic in any way. It's I'm back to where it was in college. And that's what I finally had to tell her. I'm like, listen, I've competed at a collegiate level. I've done marathons. I've been competing for a long time. I'm finally getting back into shape. It's low. I
Hey,
understand that.
guy
I
in
know.
room 2 is dead.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, she was
He's got a
impressed
heart
with
rate
my
at
weight loss.
39. He's going down fast.
Yeah. I had to do an EKG. They made me do a 6-minute walk test before they would let me
Really?
leave. Yeah, dead
How was your
serious.
walk test? How was your walk test? What
Oh,
was
I
your
blew
time?
I 6 minutes. I blew it out of the water, man. I did the clench butt cheek strategy and I walked that puppy out and when I got done and they were like, "Wow, yeah, you
Did
recovered,
you ask?
well with." What's that?
You should have asked him that. You should have been like, "Hey, how's my time?"
I should have. I didn't think about that, but they were saying how like, "Oh wow, your recovery time was really good." And I was like, "Yeah, well, it better be. My VO2 max is at the superior level. My oxygen efficiency should be really good."
Once you said all that, they probably didn't understand a word you said. Like, what's VO2
No, not at
max
all. I mean,
and ox?
that I could have been in the ER tonight, them trying to have a pacemaker placed, but I kind of refused.
So,
So
well, I've been sent to the cardiologist a few times. I have a heart abnormality, and they always
yeah,
freak out when they see my EKG. And then I go to the
yeah,
cardiologist, and they always go, "They're like, you would have been dead a long time ago if you had a major problem."
yeah, yeah. Well, but the point of that story is, she was very impressed and pleased with my weight loss, with my blood pressure, the fact that I'm off my blood pressure medication. And I mean, all of that is due to being tired of excuses and just getting back out there and doing what I know I have to do and having a better lifestyle than I did a year ago.
I
So
would just make one suggestion. Next time you go to the doctor, just run around the building a
I know.
few times and then go in. You'll hit like 60.
Yeah, I know. Well, and that's that. I got thinking about that. And this is probably the most in shape I've seen this physician because I really haven't had a primary care in forever. And I finally have one and I'm consistently seeing her. So this is probably the best shape I've been in ever seeing her. And before this, though, I mean, I was telling my wife, like, when I was in there, my pulse was still in the low to mid 50s. So it's not like it's been in the 70s and now all of a sudden I walked in and we're down into 39, 40.
Yeah. Well, it's a shock though, because you know how most people don't exercise and they don't exercise much
Yeah.
if they do
Yeah.
exercise. So to have someone come in with a low heart rate like that, they're worried
Yeah.
about you.
Well, when I tangent here, when I had a hernia repair, I went in for all the pre-op stuff. And that's when I was training pretty well. And it was probably similar. And they were like, wow, your heart rate's really, really low. I'm like, yes, I've been told this before. I run competitively long distance. I'm a marathoner. Please note in my chart that my heart rate is typically low. I do not want to wake up with a hernia repair and a pacemaker. All right, well, we'll
And they
note
said,
it, they said.
well, think about it.
Well, they said, well, if you were 80 years old, we would be putting one in. I said, well, guess what? I'm not 80 years old.
And when I am, you're not putting one in.
Yeah, I got to make it there first, man.
Oh, geez.
Fun stuff.
So, as far as this quadruple race goes,
Uh-huh.
how is your family with this? Are they all cool with it? Are they supportive?
Well, the kids don't know yet.
Don't
My
you think
wife
it's
has been
about time?
supportive. They'll find out Christmas Day. So they'll find out yesterday because this is airing
They found
tomorrow.
out
No,
yesterday,
wait.
people, but not really.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So they don't know, but
Surprise.
my wife is my wife is very supportive. I've got a lot of friends that have been supportive throughout the whole thing. A lot of people have been really keeping the secret, which is great.
I'm one of
So
those people.
hopefully yep, you are. So hopefully they're actually in bed and not out here listening.
I just
It
got what
is
you
one of
said.
those things that distance running in general, or even just physical fitness, like you definitely have to have your significant other on board. It makes it that much easier. They don't necessarily have to understand it. I remember some of the first marathons I was training for when my wife and I got together. My mom told her, don't try to understand it, just be there for him. I've been dealing with this for 20 years and I still don't understand it. So it's a different thing. It's not something everybody gets.
That's it.
What's what's your lowest heart rate, man?
I would never hit what you hit.
Yeah.
So, like when I'm in shape at the doctor's office, I was always like 50. Definitely goes down when I'm sleeping. I know that.
Yeah. I would think if it's in the 50s when you're at the doctor's, it's probably in the 40s when you're sleeping. My wife was like, "Well, it's probably lower when you're not in the doctor's office." I'm like, "I was pretty relaxed, so I don't know that it does get much lower."
Mine might be higher when I'm in the doctor's office.
Yeah, I mean, you would think so. But no, family's been very supportive. Friends have been supportive. The kids don't know, but I mean, they better be supportive. They're getting a Disney trip out of it.
I'd like to sign up to be supportive then.
I like it. You might have to pretend you're 7. So they came out with the course things like I told you, and we're actually not terribly far from the start and finish of every race, but they all start at like 5 in the morning. So I told my
Oh,
wife,
sweet.
like, oh, it's early. I think it's the earliest race I've ever done. I told my
Sweet
wife,
though.
like, I wouldn't even worry about coming to the 5 or 10K. It's up to you if you want to come to the half. But I told her by the time you get the kids up and get them around and get them to the event, it's just not going to be worth it.
Well, there's no reason for them to be there when you're first getting there, but when it
Right.
starts, I mean, if you get into the park earlier, it might be worth it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you do. I think they try to get it all done and get you out of there. But I told her too, especially since I'm not racing them. Maybe if I was like really competing in the 5 or 10K, that was my focus and I was going to like blow the thing out of the water. Sure, come watch. But you can run a time in a previous race and get a better starting position. And I missed it by like 2 weeks with Wine Glass. And I emailed him about it and it was too bad it was too late. So I can't even get into that better starting position. So who knows how long I might even have to wait for the start line because I'm just going to have to line up generally wherever they put you. And
Can we just say what they actually said to you? You asked them about getting a better starting position, and they said, "Let it go."
They said it like 3 times in a harmony. It was odd. It was, and I was like, in summer. That's what I started singing.
Put in all the hard work. So, what
Yeah.
does the next 12 days look like?
So it's just maintenance, really. It's really tapering down, although I would say, because I break it up into 4 phases, 4 6-week phases. Each phase has their challenge, but phase 3, probably late phase 3 and early phase 4 was probably the hardest because I got sick a couple times in phase 3 and again in phase 4, and maintaining that mileage and stuff while you're sick was very difficult, but I still feel very prepared. The next couple weeks, it's just easy stuff. Just a lot of 1 mile, 2 mile runs, 3 mile runs. There's not a lot because all the
Now,
work's all done.
now we've had more mild winter, or it's not even winter yet, but we've had a more mild
Now, I
fall
think
so far.
technically it is, according to my daughter.
Oh, that's true. It just started. So we've had a very
Yeah,
mild winter.
yeah. We've had a super mild
In
winter.
short,
I mean,
we
sorry. Well, what are you saying?
we had a mild fall. So are you concerned about the temperature changes? Because where you're going is going to be a lot warmer than where you're at.
Yeah, not really, because I don't, knock on wood, and I'm going to say this and probably going to backfire on me. I've never been really affected by much other than like those 80, 85-degree, 90-degree days. So if it stays where I'm told it generally stays, I think it'll be fine. But that being said, I know they have years that are cold, even by our standards, they're cold, and they have years that I guess they've stopped the run because it's been so hot. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. But I think this year it's supposed to be like mid 50s, and right now they're predicting rain. But you know, there's already people on the blog canceling that, or not canceling, panicking that it's going to be canceled, and it's like, we're 2 weeks out, and the weatherman can't even tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. So you're getting way ahead of yourself. So we'll see what happens when we get there. I have a plan for what I'm going to wear for each race and a backup plan depending on the weather, if it's cooler than what I think it's going to be. But I'm not too worried about the weather myself.
Are you worried about Disney characters coming out and getting in your way?
No. But so here's
Is
a
that not a
dilemma.
valid concern?
No, it is. It is. But I
Disney
don't think they
characters
can catch me.
autographing things and then getting in your way?
The only one is Gaston. He might be able to catch me, or maybe Hercules. I don't know. But no, I'm not too worried about that. Although I hear they're on the course, especially for the marathon. And here's something, we talked about number 2. And is it more important for get the PR or the number 2, right? So
Mhm.
I heard, and I don't know if it's true, that some of the rides are open for the full marathon. I don't know how that's possible, but then you got to ask yourself, if it is open, do you go on the ride or get the PR?
You're going to have to let me know.
And I don't know if that's true, but somebody was talking about it, and it's funny to watch this stuff because people are so funny, like one guy's asking about it, and then some other guy's like, well, if you're just running the 5K, you don't have to worry about it. They don't do that for the 5K. That's just for the marathon. Come on, man. Does it matter? And
So
everybody's
you
worried about these balloon people that take you off the
what
course if you're going
the
too
what
slow.
people?
I think they call
What
them the
people?
balloon ladies. I think they call them the balloon ladies. They sweep you off the course if you're going too slow.
What do these ladies look like?
I don't know. Part of me wants to find out, but then I don't want to be that close. I'm like, are they going to
Yeah, no,
be
that's.
like those bubble elephants from Dumbo? Like, oh, that's scary.
I hope they look like fairy godmothers. I'm about to grant you your wish. Get off.
You hope they look. the fairy godmother.
You're done.
That's funny.
It sounds like you're very well prepared. It sounds like everything is lined up for you to have a good race. Are you going to update us along the way?
I'm going to try to update you a bit, and the way it falls, we'll have a recording while we're there, but I won't have done anything yet, and then we'll have one after everything's done. But I'm going to try to put updates on our Instagram and our Facebook. You know, they got policies about things, so I'm not sure what their phone policy is going to be.
Just use your phone. But what about a
Yeah.
GoPro? Are you allowed to use a GoPro?
I don't know, but I don't have one.
That can be arranged.
I hate GoPros. You know what else I hate? Private planes. Nothing worse.
Super yachts bother me too. They're so small.
And have you ever seen the cobwebs in a mansion? My God.
Especially one in Disney World.
Yeah. It's like it's haunted or something.
Listen, you're going to have to update us. We want to know what's going on. And one more thing. Will you be wearing super shoes or 5-finger Vibrams?
I will be wearing the 5 fingers. I'm a big stickler with not changing things. There have been a couple times I was going to wear the super shoes just to see how they felt with some workouts, and it's rained every single time. So I haven't worn them yet, but I want to. I've been looking forward to it.
Why did they call them 5 fingers and not 5 toes?
You know, I don't know. I really don't know. I do know that when they first developed them, apparently they used to make shoes for like boat shoes, like yachting shoes, and that they had this idea for this 5-fingered glove-like shoe, and they already made soles for like every major shoe company. So they pitched me this idea, and they all shot them down, and they were just like, you know what? What do we have to lose? We're just going to make them ourselves, and they did.
All right, listen, update us along the way.
That is the plan.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, man.
And we will hear from you pretty soon.
Yeah, man.
Ciao. Maverick and Wolfman running out.